welcome to a very special edition of Yummy Monday. Today is one of our very special viewers' 8th birthday. So I was trying to think of what she might love to eat on her birthday, and it occurred to me she loves Chicago. So we're going to have Chicago-style pizza for our recipe today. Now today's recipe is a little bit more involved, so you're going to need to have your adult assistant help you a little bit more than you normally would, but I promise it'll be worth it because this will be delicioso. Okay, so the first thing that we're doing, you might notice that the stove is already on behind me. What I've done is chopped up some onions, some green peppers, and some mushrooms, and I've already put those in the skillet to cook. So they're all cooked and ready to go. So what I'm going to do is take some tomatoes. Now there are 2 cans of diced tomatoes that I've already drained. So I'm now going to dump the tomatoes on top of my vegetable mixture. And just stir those around just until the tomatoes get warm. It looks beautiful. Now I'm just using plain tomatoes, but you can also get tomatoes that come seasoned with basil and oregano, or just all kinds of different seasonings. There's a wide variety, but I'm just using plain because I think our other vegetables provide good flavor on their own. Okay, so we're going to let that stew for just a little bit. Now the next thing we're going to do is take our bread dough. Now I'm just using bread dough that I bought at the store and I thaw it out. So this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to do is take 1 loaf, and I've got my pan. You want to use a pan that has tall sides. That's where you get the deep dish pizza that Chicago is famous for. So you take your dough out of the bag. Okay, and you can see it's all thawed and ready to go. So you just kind of flatten it out, stretch it a little bit is what you're going to want to do. And then we're going to put it in the pan and just kind of spread it out. Now this will probably take you a couple of minutes. So I'm going to get it started and then we're going to come back and see when I'm finished. And I'll time it and see how long it takes me. Okay, we got our crust all put into the pan. It's all spread out and it took me about 2 minutes. I think the reason it took me so long is that I put too much butter on the bottom of my crust, so it wasn't sticking very well to the dough. It wanted to move around. So the next thing we're going to do is add our cheese. Now this is what's different about Chicago style pizza is you put the cheese on the bottom. So I've got a mixture here of mozzarella and Colby. I'm sorry, not Colby, cheddar. So we're going to go ahead and just put this on the bottom. Spread it around. Get all the yummy goodness on there. Now there's a big debate about which Chicago style pizza is better. Now our birthday girl, I think, likes Giordano's better, but I happen to like Gino's better, so I think it's just a personal preference. And there are a few other kinds of Chicago style pizza too that are involved in the debate about which one is better. So, go ahead and push your cheese down into your dough. Okay, and then our tomato mixture and vegetable mixture is ready. So you're going to come over here and you're going to want to use a spoon that has holes in it. This is called a slotted spoon because you don't want to get all the extra liquid on your cheese. So we just dump it right on top. This is kind of like backward pizza, isn't it? Usually your sauce goes next to your crust. Those crazy Chicago people, they do it differently. Okay. Now this is the part that your adult assistant will need to help you with, but you can do the part about pressing the dough into the pan and putting the cheese on. You could even do the part about slicing the cheese up or shredding it if you're not using pre-shredded cheese. But because this part is hot, you want your adult assistant to do this part. Almost done. This last little bit, this smells really good. I know I've said this before, but some of you inventors need to work on smell-o-vision. That would be pretty cool if you could be watching this and smelling it at the very same time. Okay, so we're going to spread this around on top of our cheese and our crust. Okay, now we're going to put pepperoni and we're going to put Canadian bacon on our pizza. If you like sausage on your pizza, you want to put your sausage right next to the crust instead of on top, but the other meat you can put right on top. So we just layer our pepperoni. I'm going to keep layering this and we'll come back in just a minute because it'll probably take me a while and it's not very much fun to watch me put pepperoni on a pizza. Okay, we've got our pepperoni and our Canadian bacon on, so we're ready for the last step, which is just a little bit of Parmesan on top. Now I'm using shredded Parmesan. You could use shaved if you like that too. We're just adding just a little bit for some flavor. I like Parmesan a little bit more than our taste tester, so I'm going to put a little bit more Parmesan on my side. And then we're going to add some Italian seasoning. We're going to just sprinkle that all over the whole pizza. Italian seasoning is usually basil, oregano, parsley. So that's what we're using. And then just I'm going to top it off with just a little bit of garlic powder. Wonderful. It's ready to go in the oven. So I've got our oven preheated to 325. So I'm going to put it in the oven and bake it. I'm going to check it at 25 minutes. It might need to go a little bit longer. It just depends on your oven. So we're going to go in the oven. And I can't wait for this to be finished. I'm so hungry for Chicago style pizza. I cannot wait. Okay, it's been 35 minutes. I checked the pizza at 25 minutes. And the crust wasn't quite as golden as we like it. So I went ahead and let it go for another 10 minutes. So we're ready to take it out of the oven now, and it smells delicious. And you'll notice that it got quite big. And I had to put a pan underneath, an empty pan underneath the pizza in the oven because I looked in to check on it and the crust was about this high, and I was worried that all the toppings were going to fall off onto the bottom of the oven. So we're going to let this cool for just a minute, and then we're going to have our taste tester take a bite and let us know what he thinks of our birthday girl Chicago style deep dish pizza.